about John. Is that somebody is he starting to get under your skin a little bit? Is he starting to bug you?
Not under my skin. It's just, you know, it all, you know, when it's like, a lot of times, like, we have, you know, a lot of these issues arrive, and people ask me questions about them, and I answer them, and I answer them honestly. You know, I always show them a ton of respect and everything, but then I say it in an open forum where everybody can see it, but then he kind of does it in an open forum, which is Twitter, but without the intention. He wants someone else to tell me, instead of him just say, hey, Daniel, get your butt to work and start losing weight so we can fight. He'll just put it out there without tagging my name. It's weird. It's weird. It's not getting under my skin.
So what's the ultimate plan? Because you mentioned, you know, maybe a heavyweight fight next, and then, but you still want to be at 205 by the end of the year. I mean,
yes.
So what's the
well? So this is it. I'm telling you, like, so before, you know, I've always kind of been, well, you know, when I do. Well, the truth of the matter is I am now. You know, it's no when I do, if I am. It's a matter of getting down there and doing it in the correct way. So all I'm doing is I'm going to try to get to fight down there, and you know, hopefully it doesn't affect me very much in terms of the way I fight. But I want to fight because I don't want to sit on the shelf. You know, I went through 18 months with one fight after I fought Bigfoot and broke my hand. You know, so I don't want to be inactive. You know, I've only been fighting for so long, and I lost a year with the broken hand and the hand injury. So if I've been fighting for 4 years, I lost that third year because I couldn't do very much. So I just want to be active. I just want to fight someone on the way down. Again, you know, like you'll hear. It's like what I said, but it was because of the question that was asked before. You know, I mean, I don't. It's not them in particular. You know, it was like, well, Werdum and the question was kind of like Werdum and Nogueira have a fight. You know, the winner of that fight, would that interest you? Well, yeah, of course, that's a big fight. You know, so if you said, well, another guy's fighting another guy, would that interest you? Probably so, because it's a big fight. You know, so it's like you'll answer a question, and then it'll kind of be you'll see it in an article, and it'll be something a little different than when it was. You know, but I mean, obviously, I think they're both great fighters. You know, if we were to fight, but if it wasn't them, then okay, it's going to be someone else.
Why is it that you guys are finally able to just say that fight is never going to happen?
Well, because I always said, you know, well, before I was bigger. I was like 260 pounds. You know, so I was like, man, you know, what's going to happen? Obviously, we didn't want to fight, and I was way down there. You know, wasn't even close. So then when I lost some weight and got smaller, I started to explore the other option of going down. So now that that's a reality, that it's something that I want to try and do, then we can answer it honestly. You know, if, you know, there is no fight, so we can just say, well, we don't want to fight because Daniel's probably going to go down to the lowest weight, next weight, not the lowest weight. Jeez. Me and Mighty Mouse, that would be cool.
Progress right now to save the Olympic wrestling, you know, the changes that they implemented and what's going on. Are you encouraged by what you see? Very
encouraged. You see that wrestling now is moving in the right direction. You know, it's an old sport, and it's stayed an old sport. You know, like, well, you go to the NCAA tournament, or, you know, prime example of how the sport. Gray Maynard's dad, he started going to the NCAA tournament with the same group of guys in like 1970. He's never missed, and it's those same 4 guys. So now, but that's how most of the wrestling crowd is, you know, older people, and it just doesn't change. You know, you've talked to you go to tell your grandmother to do something different, and tell her, no, you got to use this computer, or just get rid of the little. Don't tell your grandmother to get rid of her house phone. See what happens. Right?
Right.
It's hard to change. You know, people don't want to change, especially older people, and that's kind of the wrestling culture. You know, they didn't want to change, but now they're embracing it. And as you see, there's more media on it. We've got a legitimate star in Jordan Burroughs, and we had the event in Los Angeles. That was 4,000 or 5,000 people there, and I heard they got rid of 5,000 tickets because the Iranians pulled out. It was going to be 10,000 people in there with the Iran team in there. You know, there's a big Iranian community in Los Angeles. And then Beat the Streets in New York City did real well. It was on national television as it was going on live. So it's going well. I mean, does that mean it's going to get back into the games? Not sure, but I know that they're going in the right direction.
2 more, guys. Plus, amateur wrestling serves as a great feeder to mixed martial arts. If you look at I would say there's no better way for a young kid who wants to get into MMA than an organized, you know, through their high school or college. So our futures are directly tied together.
Exactly. And you know what? Even if there wasn't to be no Olympic wrestling would still move on because of mixed martial arts. You're right. Kids do know now that in order to be Cain Velasquez, George St. Pierre, those guys, you have to know how to wrestle. John Jones, you have to know how to wrestle. So even if the sport was to not get put back in the games, I think at the grassroots it's going to continue to grow, because it's blowing it up, man. The numbers have never been higher in kids.